Dante Greco.
Dante is a really smart guy.
Ladies love Dante.
He's not got it there. Look at that face. What's your name, Casey?
Dante Greco.
Dante was me, yours truly.
I'm gonna come.
Welcome to the Dante Greco Friday show. It's Freewheeling Friday. We got nothing planned. We're just going to kind of read the news and riff on it a little bit. I got dog hair on my microphone. You hear that? Microphone check. Okay, let's get into it. Like I said, nothing planned. We're just going to get into it. It's a short show. It's Friday. You want to get to the weekend. I want to get to the weekend. You scream, I scream. We all scream for the weekend. Donald Trump not indicted. Honestly, at this point, doesn't even look like it's going to happen. Looks like Bragg's case is falling apart. Trump played this perfectly. He probably got an idea that this was a weak case, and he blew it up, made it sound like he was about to be taken in. The reports are that Trump wants to be taken in and handcuffed and photographed. He might even bring a documentary crew to film all of this. He wants the mugshot released. It's great. He's at the center of the news again. It's going to get his base activated. But Bragg, as we know, canceled the grand jury meeting this past week. We don't know what's going to happen. The case, everyone's saying the case is weak. It's going nowhere. But Trump is out there putting up pictures of himself with a baseball bat, like Robert De Niro in The Untouchables, next to a picture of Alvin Bragg. Psycho Don, reads the Drudge Report, threatens Manhattan District Attorney, deletes. Trump warns of death and destruction if charged. It's hilarious. Because, I don't know. It's kind of lazy. It's like lazily biblical for Trump to say, oh, there's going to be death and destruction. You know, I really don't think his supporters are going to go that hard. Now, granted, I did just see that some white powder was sent to Alvin Bragg. Package with suspicious powder delivered to Bragg's office. Where is that? Where is that? Alvin, I'll kill you, it said. Police say the package with the suspicious white powder delivered to building housing Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg's office on Friday amid Trump investigation. They were chanting, white powder, white powder. Yeah, so look, it's possible, or maybe it's that anthrax guy. Remember after 9/11, someone was sending anthrax and they never really got to the bottom of it. Maybe he's making a comeback. Ex-president demands removal of every official investigating him. Long-term security nightmare. Again, I really do think January 6th and what happened to all of the protesters who made it into the Capitol, getting arrested, going to jail, FBI tracking I think every single one of them down. And if the FBI couldn't find you, your family was turning you in. And lengthy jail sentences for some, months in jail for others, but you don't want to go to jail, period. And you don't want to go to jail for Trump. I don't think people want to go to jail for Trump. They'll vote for him. They'll support him. They'll talk about him online. They'll like him. Don't want to go to jail for him. He's not getting you out. That QAnon shaman is stuck in there basically for 4 years. A long-term security nightmare, death and destruction if charged. Predicted potential death and destruction may result if, as expected, he is charged by the Manhattan District Attorney. What kind of person, Mr. Trump wrote of Mr. Bragg, can charge another person, in this case, a former president of the United States who got more votes than any sitting president in history and leading candidate by far for the Republican Party nomination, with a crime when it is known by all that no crime has been committed, and also that potential death and destruction in such a false charge could be catastrophic for our country. So he's saying it. I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. Bat hit crazy, reads the headline on the New York Post. No remorse, no shame, no chance. Page 6, Trump family growing tired of his antics. Now, listen, you do have to take what the Post is saying with a grain of salt, because prior to Trump announcing his new campaign, Rupert Murdoch basically said, look, we're not going to help you this time. We're not supporting you. Fox isn't going to support you. Daily Mail, New York Post, all of these publications and media outlets that Rupert Murdoch owns are not going to be on Team Trump this time. Understandable, too, because Trump's election claims might cost Fox billions of dollars. They got the Dominion lawsuit that they're fending off, and then they have another one. I can't even remember the name of the other voting machine company, but they might be going for $2.1 billion. So I get it. Trump won't change, and that shows he can't win, by the Post editorial board. Yeah, they're going to be coming after him. But again, I think they're underestimating him. I think they're underestimating his supporters. His supporters will vote for him. They won't go to jail for him, but they will vote for him. Anyone who is still willing to go to jail for Trump, by the way, get your head checked. It's a mistake. He's never going to pay those bills. Or those bails, I should say. Let's keep moving. House approves Parents' Bill of Rights. Attempted book bans and restrictions at libraries surge. I love coming to the Drudge Report because it seems like the world is ending every time. You got pictures of people in riot gear. You got former presidents with baseball bats going after district attorneys. You got Lana Del Rey for some reason. I don't know why. Drudge is obsessed with Lana Del Rey. Like, no one else is covering Lana Del Rey with this much fervor. Not even that good, by the way. She was cool at the very beginning when I first got her. When I first started at TMZ back in 2012, she was kind of just starting out also. And she was very nice. And then somewhere along the line, things changed. I tried to interview her once. And, look, I hate having to come up to people that I don't think are going to be that into it anyway. But I did because it was a slow day and I needed a shot so I could have something to turn in for the day. I go up, I say, Lana, I'm curious about, and she goes, I don't give a fuck what you're curious about. And she walked off. I said, okay, sorry. What are you so mad about? Your dad's a billionaire. Okay, we're not going to talk about Lana Del Rey. The oldest working drag queen dead at 92. Kind of looks like Gene Hackman. Remember those photos came out a couple weeks ago of Gene Hackman and what he's been up to. Well, here's an updated photo. Gene Hackman was working as a drag queen in New Mexico. Walter Cole, better known as the iconic drag queen who performed for decades as Darcel XV or 15, I don't know, and a fearless advocate for Portland's LGBTQ plus community, has died of natural causes in Portland, Oregon. He was 92. Can I just say the word iconic has lost all meaning in today's media landscape. Iconic is thrown around for everything. It's thrown around for Kylie Jenner. It's thrown around for so-and-so's iconic look or so-and-so's iconic moment on, Vanderpump Rules, whatever it is. Iconic is dead as a worthwhile descriptor. Speaking of Vanderpump Rules, praise God, praise Allah, praise Buddha, praise, Odin, that I don't have to cover this Vanderpump Rules, Raquel Levass, Anna Maddox, Tom Sandoval story. That was the kind of story I hated covering at TMZ because, they're people that you never heard of and you don't care about at all. Yet you have to know every single detail of the story just in case you run into them or you get a tip and it's like, you got to rush over to, Bristol Farms right now. Raquel Levass is shopping. She's about to come out and you got to get a good soundbite and you got to move the story forward. And you show up and you got like 5 minutes to Google what's been up with the story because it's so boring. Thank God. And then you get there and if you ask the wrong questions or like you forget that like something has advanced in the story, then you're screwed. So I hated it. And I will not be covering any Vanderpump Rules drama on this show. World's oldest drag queen dead at 92. Well, let's see what the drag queen thought. I wonder, since you're 92, you're a drag queen, you've been through it all. You've probably been through the invention of modern drag as far as we know it. And as we know, drag queen story hour and drag queens are, supposed to be one of the biggest threats in America, depending on your political leanings. I don't really now. Look, I live in LA. I don't encounter drag queens that often unless I'm like passing through West Hollywood or certain parts of Hollywood or downtown LA. I don't know. Like, you're not bombarded with drag queens. I'm trying to be fair here. I try not to be partisan on this show or just follow talking points. I'm really trying to be fair because I see both sides. I see the side of people that are like, what are you doing with these over-sexualized performances in front of children? I get that. It is disturbing. But then on the other hand, I sit there and say, well, who are these parents bringing them? The problem is with the parents, I would think, because it's not like you walk out your door and all of a sudden a drag show circles you and forces you to dance and watch. Like, the parents are taking them. So really, if you got a problem, I would first look to the parents. Okay. Moving on. Let's just see if Walter Cole commented on that issue. When speaking of Darcel, that was the name of his drag character, Cole, a gay man, referred to his persona in the third person using female pronouns. I'm an entertainer with a capital E, Cole told Stanley. Darcel is a character, like in a play, and I work very hard at her. Okay. After decade. Yeah, it's like Mrs. Doubtfire, This is Darcel is his Mrs. Doubtfire. Let's keep it moving. All right, well, I don't see that Walter or Darcel commented on the current state of the drag queen thing. So we will move on from the story. Rest in peace, Gene Hackman's drag doppelganger. Drama, death of Thiel intimate being investigated as a suicide. Peter Thiel, another gay man, billionaire, created PayPal along with Elon Musk back in the day, and staunch libertarian. According to this article, he had some kind of a relationship with Jeff Thomas. That was the shirtless model who died a week or so ago in Miami. There was some confusion about whether Jeff, basically, one way or another, he fell out of a window of a high-rise in Miami. Now, the question, did he kill himself or was he taking a selfie and he slipped? Because we've heard both sides. Now they're saying Peter Thiel was, not that he had something to do with it, but Jeff Thomas, a model and social media influencer, was recently in a long-term relationship with billionaire Peter Thiel, said he spent much of his time with the tech mogul working to persuade him away from his increasingly aggressive pursuit of a culture war, a war that Thomas warned was blowing back on their community. I don't side with him on a lot of political things, but I understand him, Thomas told this person in an interview last November. I'm trying to influence him in ways to show him my heart and show him how it affects myself, certain individuals, himself. Okay, he said he felt like he'd made strides with Thiel, but his effort was cut short earlier this month on March 8th when he died tragically as a suicide. I mean, listen, this is what I would surmise. Okay, this is just my speculation, my informed speculation. Thiel was probably paying all this guy's bills. He tried to push Thiel in a direction Thiel didn't want to go. Thiel cuts him off. Guy's a 35-year-old model. If you're not a big established model, or if you haven't pivoted to some other kind of career by then, it's probably very tough. It's probably, a desolate road ahead. So my guess is Thiel cut him off. He was very depressed about the prospects of having to start over and figure out a new life, and maybe he ended it. Very sad either way. Moving on. That's my ruling. Paltrow admits in testimony she fled the ski accident. Yeah, let's see. Let's go to Daily Mail. They'll have a better roundup. Is this someone doing something perverted? Gwyneth Paltrow says she feared she was being sexually assaulted when retired optometrist crashed into her. He was making a groaning noise. She said she had a momentary fear she was being attacked when Terry Sanderson hit her from behind, with his legs going between hers and the pair of them toppling to the ground. I don't know if I buy that. It's a good defense. I don't know if I buy that. It's a weird way to get on top of someone, hitting them at a high speed on the ski slopes. The groaning noise could easily just be him going, "Oh, my brain. You hurt my brain." Might not be a groan of passion or of ecstasy. Paltrow 50 said she screamed, "You skied directly into my effing back," at the retiree who has accused her of leaving him brain damaged in a ski crash. The actress, who was one of the first to accuse Harvey Weinstein of sexual harassment, said she was momentarily frightened that Terry Sanderson could be an attacker. She said she thought, "Is this someone doing something perverted?" She added, "I was trying to put together what was happening behind me." She swiftly realized, she said, that it was not a sexual attack, but rather someone had crashed into her from behind. In dramatic testimony on the fourth day of her trial, by the way, sans Jeffrey Dahmer glasses, she must have gotten the hint. Paltrow admitted to shouting at Sanderson 76 as he lay on the ground in the aftermath of the crash. She said it was not usual for her to yell an obscenity. Of course, that wouldn't go along with the goop image. We don't use the F word in goop world. But said, after an incident when you feel hurt and violated, unfortunately, adrenaline kicks in. Yeah, I mean, look, you don't have to apologize for saying that. If the guy crashed into your back, that's pretty bad. I mean, this guy could have paralyzed her, too. Could have broken her back. She admitted she did not remember asking if Sanderson was okay and left ski instructor Eric Christensen to handle the situation for her. That sounds, continuing down the slope to meet daughter Apple at the bottom. That sounds perfectly fine. Celebrities have assistants handle stuff like that. They don't ask if you're okay. Before she was Jeff Bezos's girlfriend, I don't know, they're not married, but girlfriend, at least, Lauren Sanchez, years ago, when I was working at a valet job, while I was taking off from, a summer semester at Harvard, I was back working a valet job on vacation. And it was Kate Hudson's Halloween party. Everyone was there. DiCaprio, all the big stars. And a girl comes out, says, I'm pretty drunk. I need a ride home. I don't know where my car is. Now, this is pre-Uber. So the guys look at me. They say, well, you kind of know this area a little bit. Are you willing to give her a ride home? I stupidly said, okay, fine. So I get her in the back of my car. I'm driving her. She's talking. All of a sudden, we're getting close to her location. I say, okay, do I turn here? Turn around. She's like gone. Super drunk. I can tell she's about to throw up. So I pull over and I try to get a bag over her face to catch the vomit, and it just like gushes out like the Whitewater Rapids. Bag goes flying, all in my car. I don't know where the hell she lives. I take her back to the party. I say, she threw up all over my car. Who does she belong to? So then Lauren Sanchez and her ex-husband, whoever that was at the time, comes out, and she's like, oh, there's my assistant. And they come up and they gather their assistant. They pull her out of the car. Car soaked in vomit, by the way. I'm standing there just like patiently waiting. I'm thinking they're going to be like, hey, so sorry about that. Like, here's our guy. Get your car clean, get it detailed, or like, here's something to alleviate your pain, something for your troubles. They just pull her out, put her into an SUV, and take off. Absolutely nothing. Didn't ask if I was okay. Didn't even look at me. And this is before she was with Bezos. This is just when she was local weather girl, Lauren Sanchez. So it doesn't surprise me that Gwyneth Paltrow didn't ask if this guy was okay. She's probably pissed at him. She definitely is still pissed at him for suing her, but she was probably already angry with him the whole time for crashing into her because she's Gwyneth Paltrow. You don't crash into Gwyneth Paltrow. And that's okay. Look, you don't have to ask if someone's okay. If it was their fault, you don't have to be like, are you okay? Well, anyways, he was making some strange noises that sounded male, and he was large. So I assume, wait, fucking ad. Okay. I lost it. At the time, I did not know he had sustained injuries like that. I thought it was minor on the day. Okay. I lost this because an ad popped up. All right. During her testimony, Paltrow said she heard Sanderson making a groaning noise as they collided and initially thought she was being assaulted by someone perverted. She said he was making some strange noises that sounded male, and he was large, so I assumed he was a male. I was confused at first because it's a very strange thing to happen on a ski slope. I got very upset a few seconds later. There's a body pressing against me, and he was making a groaning noise. I didn't know. Is this a practical joke, or is someone doing something perverted? All right. So, yeah, I mean, look, the guy did crash into you. You guys crashed. Either way, you banged into each other. So the groaning noise, I'm going to say, was not perverted. It was him going, "Oh my God, I'm damaged. My brain is damaged, and now I can't enjoy my wine tasting." All right, we'll continue to monitor this story. I want to get to other stuff before we run out of time. I'll be very curious to see what the jury rules. Reese Witherspoon splits from her husband 2 days before 12th wedding anniversary after a great deal of care and consideration. 12 years, not bad for Hollywood. Give it up to him. But look, at that level, you can just do what you want. They both have the income that they need, or the wealth that they need. They can go just live life and enjoy it. Don't stay together in that case. I'm sore all over. Dick Van Dyke, 97, seen for the first time since Malibu car crash. As actor reveals he face planted directly into his steering wheel after airbag failed to deploy and had to get stitches in his lip. Wow, this guy is resilient. You would think a 97-year-old smashing their face into a steering wheel would be like taking a rotten pumpkin and smashing it into a steering wheel. You'd think the whole structure would just collapse, but look at him. He's smiling. He's up. He's okay. Hey, you could learn from him, Sanderson, guy accusing Gwyneth Paltrow. Dick Van Dyke's 20. He's got 21 years on you. Well, he's happy, having a great time. I wish Dick Van Dyke had slammed into Gwyneth Paltrow. Wouldn't even be a lawsuit. Just groaning. Olivia Wilde reveals she is worth $10 million and spends more than $100,000 a month, as she claims ex Jason Sudeikis is far wealthier than her and is trying to litigate her into debt over child support payments. I believe it. I mean, she hasn't had a bunch of hits, and she's directed some movies that, some did well, some didn't do so well. Like that movie, Don't Worry, Darling. Should have been called Don't Worry About Seeing It. Garbage. Really bad. Truly, really bad. Sudeikis, yeah, you know what? He did Ted Lasso. Because I thought I think of him as a Saturday Night Live guy, and they don't make that much. So I'm sitting here thinking, well, how's he far wealthier? But he's had a lot of movies. He's got Ted Lasso, and I'm sure he is far wealthier. So I don't know. Iranian militants. Victoria Beckham. Oh, that's the model. God, French protesters stack piles of rubbish-filled bin bags into makeshift barricades against riot cops as demonstrations over pensions rage across the country. Wow, those French know how to protest. Get ready, America, as we get into election season, especially if Trump pulls ahead and it looks like he's going to win, or even if he does win, we're going to, you know what? I bet the protesters here are taking notes already. Bags of trash. Just stack bags of trash. Wow. I'm against that, by the way. But I've never seen it before, so I'm pleasantly surprised. Okay. Ugh, I don't even want to see that eye drop thing. All right, let's do a quick check of TMZ before we wrap it up. Gwyneth, Reese Witherspoon, same old stuff. Roller Coaster Kid. CeeLo. All right. You know, like I said, it was a freewheeling Friday show. There wasn't a whole lot going on today. It's the weekend. We all want to chill.
If you feel sick, test to know if it's COVID. Medication is key to slow the virus in your body.
I just hate this commercial so much. Get your testing, spend all weekend testing, and then quarantining until you get your test results.
Recover smoother. You may test negative sooner. California, you know you need.
I think I hate that guy the most.
Recover smoother. You may test negative sooner. California, you know you need it. Test it, treat it, you can beat it.
Yeah. Visit youcanbeatit.org or call 833-422-4255 to ask for medication to treat COVID-19.
They're turning this into the new HIV. I swear to God. To ask for medication to treat COVID. What medication? They still have never told us any medication, as far as I know.
Smoother. You may test negative sooner. California.
I hate this guy. What's he doing in there? He doesn't even live in that house. He looks like he just wandered in. Fuck, that's what it's like here in California. People from the street just wander into your homes and start dancing to COVID songs. All right. I think that's it. I think I've had enough. I think you've had enough. It's enough. So have a great weekend. I'll see you on Monday.
Have a good life. We will see you soon.
Much love.
Thank you.
Love.
All right, Dante.
So once again, thank you to my brother. Tell him your name again.
Dante Greco.
2 words. Made in America.
Dante, you're doing great.
I never anybody over in my life.
Listen, I want you to leave my good friend Ringo alone.
Yeah.
Hal.
Have a good day.